You're watching The Daily on Shaw TV Channel 4. I'm Kate Bergen, and we're very excited about today's show. We're spending some time with one of the kings of comedy, a man who created a character, the pathological liar that a nation fell in love with. He had a part in the Wedding Singer film, and he starred in the critically acclaimed television series The Critic. We're talking about Jon Lovitz. He is our guest on this edition of The Daily. We're actually here in the Dorchester Hotel. This is his room. Jon, we're here. Hello? Okay, well, we're on time. He knows we're coming. So while he gets the underwear out of the ceiling fan and all the whipped cream up off the couch, here's what's coming up on this edition. We're going to check in an airplane. We're doing some loops and twirls in the air. It's a bucket list item for myself, for sure. We're also going to visit Babe's Honey Farm in Victoria. Bees play a huge role in your life. And Dunya Tozy visits with a couple who is doing good in this community by growing vegetables for people who need them. Before we get to any of that, though, here is Oliver at the North Island Wildlife Recovery Association. You're watching The Daily on Shaw TV Channel 4. I'm Kate Bergen. This is comedian Jon Lovitz. Now, in leading up to today's interview, we put a lot of thought in what we could talk to Jon about. Our viewer, which consists mostly of Todd Jones behind the camera, well, and we can't forget Terry. He's the one that kind of tweaks the audio every day. I don't know how he gets sick of it.
I'm watching.
He's watching. Awesome. We got 3 viewers now. But they wanted us to talk about the pathological liar character. But that was like so yesterday. You're not doing that stuff anymore. You've moved on.
Well, that was in 1985.
That's a long time ago, Todd and Terry. Like, get over it. Get into this century at least.
I'll move on then.
That follows you, though, everywhere you go.
Yeah, people still say it. Yeah, that's the ticket. It's very flattering. I got it from old movies, and I did it on Saturday Night Live for about 1.5 years. And yeah, it became huge. It was pretty amazing.
And you're not going to go back to him? He's not... Is he resurrected on stage at all, this character?
No, not in my stand-up act. No, my stand-up act, I'm just me, and I just talk about, well, everything. I make fun of myself and sex, politics, religion, men, women, celebrities. I play the piano. I sing funny songs.
And I hear you're very good. I actually caught the show, and you're,
Well,
what do you know, very talented.
I try.
It doesn't bother you that people sort of call for, cry for, want something that is 20 years old and not you anymore?
Well, no, it's flattering that they remember, you know.
Yeah.
But I tried doing that in the beginning of my stand-up act when I started doing it, and it didn't work. Why? I don't know. I think because it was too long ago. I don't know why. It didn't. But I'm kind of glad, because otherwise I would just be repeating the same thing over and over. So.
Is there a persona then that you take on stage with you today? Or is that just pure Jon?
Well, it's me. Yeah, I'd say it's like the way I am if I was on a talk show.
Okay.
With like, you know, The Tonight Show or Conan O'Brien when I would do late night, or when I did Jimmy Fallon's show, well, about 1 year ago. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's more like that. Okay.
Well, if you're on the island and you've had a chance to see the shows, you know what Jon's talking about. If not, check out his page on, I don't know, Facebook or the internet or wherever you can get information.
Well, I'm on Twitter at Real Jon Lovitz.
And do you tweet a lot?
Well, a normal amount.
That all depends how socially networked addicted you are, right? We'll be back with more with Jon Lovitz on this edition of The Daily. In the meantime, we're throwing things over to Dunya Tozy. There's community gardening in the air. People following their passion through gardening in Nanaimo. You're watching The Daily on Shaw TV Channel 4. We're hanging out today with comedian Jon Lovitz. Now, I recently read, Jon, that you don't think political correctness has any role whatsoever in comedy. And irony is something that you bring into
Well, I don't know how you can be politically correct and do stand-up when the whole point of it is to, you know, you're making jokes and you're satirizing something, or you're pointing out hypocrisies, or you're making fun of stuff. So I don't know how you can do both.
Okay, irony?
It's kind of the antithesis of comedy, to be politically correct.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, irony.
Irony is big, and I can't help but notice the irony in the fact that you're huge in celebrity status, and you have
I thought you were referring to my stomach.
No, but we did bring something.
It did get bigger over the years.
And your fan base got bigger, and the irony of you giving us your time today for our 1, 2, maybe 3 Andrew Roberts from Got Pop concerts watches sometimes. You like the small towns, the little towns,
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, they're just people. It's no different than a bigger town. Usually, actually, the audiences are better in smaller towns because they're more appreciative, and they're there to see your show and listen. Whereas in Los Angeles, the crowds are tougher. They kind of want to be part of a scene. They're not really, all of them are there to really see the show.
They're there to be seen themselves.
Yeah, and they heckle more because they get jealous and they want to be part of it, you know.
Okay.
And then you just rip them, and it's pretty easy to do.
You're a little more gentle in the small towns, maybe? We're not that delicate. We're not overly delicate here.
But they're, you know, I think that they're just more appreciative because, you know, I've come a farther distance to be here, and I think they're paying, you know, a lot more for a ticket. Yeah. So they're really there to see the show. Yeah,
we should talk to Andrew about that at Got Pop concerts, ticket prices.
Well, that I have nothing to do with that.
Now, I also read recently that the N-word has, by I don't know who, been abolished, and you don't believe that words can be abolished. I mean, once it's out there, it's out there.
Well, I don't think you should call someone that. I just think that the whole idea, I do a bit about it in my act, but the whole idea of trying to get rid of a word is absurd.
Right.
Because it already exists. And then if you say, well, you can say the N-word, I go, well, that's the same thing, because then you think of the real word, and then it doesn't work. I just don't think you should use either one.
Okay.
But I noticed on the news, once they said the N-word, they started saying that like a million times more than they ever said. Well, they would never say the other one, and what it stands for. And I mean,
it means the same
ridiculous.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it means the same thing. So in my mind, it's just as bad. You just shouldn't use it.
And there's 4 other words that you feel are that bad.
Yes.
What are they?
No, I don't feel they're that bad. There was an article on Yahoo.
Oh, okay.
Saying it. Well, it's in my act, you know.
Okay. Will you share with us what those words are?
No, you got to buy a ticket.
No, but I can't afford it, Andrew.
I don't want to say, but it's...
You don't want to say?
It's other words that are, you know... Well, no, I don't think you should use them. I mean, I point them out in my act, but it's just the absurdity of it.
All right. I actually respect that.
That you can't get rid of. My point is, you shouldn't use a word, but the other point is you can't get rid of a word. Like if I said, don't think of a pink elephant.
Right.
Well, now you're thinking of it.
Of course.
It's a paradox, so it's like that. It's just the idea is absurd.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And this actually seems absurd as you're hanging out in a whole... It does make a lot of sense.
I'm saying you shouldn't use those words. You know, they're rude to say to somebody, but you can't get rid of them.
Right.
Well, it's impossible. They already exist.
And I thank you.
You can't. It's like saying do not use the word dinosaur.
Right.
Oh, well,
any other ones?
I mean, it's ridiculous. It's impossible.
Todd's laughing behind the camera.
No, but there was an article on Yahoo saying the N-word's a good start. Now, if we could just get rid of these 4 other words, the world would be a perfect place. It's like
really, wow, that's hopeful.
It's words that refer to different groups of people, but like, well, what about the other groups? There's more than 4. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Okay. Are you?
That's some. It occurred to me, and that's one way I come up with material. It's just I see something, and I'm like, well, this is ridiculous.
I'm going totally long in this interview now because that's what I do and what I'm known for. Do you spend a lot of your time researching, going out online and looking for absurd things?
No, I don't look for it, but I just come across it, you know.
In everyday...
In my own mind, if it's absurd, you know. I don't know what's going to pop up and make me feel that way.
Okay. You want to plug your Twitter handle one more time?
Well, sure. I'm at Real Jon Lovitz, RealJon, John, and then Lovitz, Lovitz.
Okay, and that's as opposed to the fake Jon
Well,
Lovitz?
no, as opposed to just Jon Lovitz, which is my comedy club. I have a in Los Angeles, Jon Lovitz Comedy Club and Podcast Theater in Los Angeles.
All right. Well, I'm curious about what Jon Lovitz tweets about, and instead of asking him, I think we'll just follow him on Twitter. We'll be back with more on this edition of The Daily after a short break. You're watching The Daily on Shaw TV Channel 4. I'm Kate Bergen. We're hanging out with Jon Lovitz in his hotel room here at the Dorchester Hotel in Nanaimo. And it's becoming a little bit of a tradition in that anytime we have somebody famous and you know, big celebrity type on our show, we bring presents. So we got a large. Todd, behind the camera, said that this would fit you. Oh my God. It's a Shaw. It's a Shaw. That's
well, thank you.
So there's a shirt. We also got a hat for you.
Oh, just a shirt. Thank you.
Just a shirt and a baseball hat. You can just check that on the floor if you want, on the couch with whipped cream. There you go. A baseball hat.
Thank you.
This is from Nanaimo, the harbor city. I was told to ask how to say Nanaimo, actually.
It said Nanaimo, but it's spelled Nanaimo. Nanaimo.
So that's because
what is this?
It's a blanket. Yeah, because it's just such beach weather out here in the rain. We all go to the
I
beach.
will definitely use this. Thank you.
Cool. On an airplane, you know, curl up, put it around your feet. We also have for when you get stressed out.
Thank you.
It's a little squishy seal, and the reason it seems a bit random, but there's you can go snorkeling with the seals. Just 5 minutes offshore here.
Really?
And that's, yeah. And if you don't
They don't bite the snorkelers?
No, they swim with them and play with them.
Really?
Yeah. Try to mate with them.
Drown them? Try to mate with them?
I don't know.
And how often do you go snorkeling?
Well, you get it where you can, right? Here's some gum. Another random thing. It's the Nanaimo Economic Development Corporation.
Jeez, you guys have your own gum?
We have our own gum. So maybe you
Wow.
can spit some on stage at the Port Theatre tonight. I don't know where
While you're mating with the seal, eh?
Yes. Jon, thank you so much for being on.
Well, thank you for those lovely gifts. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I hope you
It's very nice of you.
think of our
I
little
will.
town.
I'll definitely use all of them.
Okay. That looked like a whole lot of fun, and as I said, definitely something to add to my bucket list. It's been a pleasure spending a little bit of time with comedian Jon Lovitz. That's him there, looking out the window of his hotel room here in Nanaimo. I don't think he knows what he's actually taking pictures of. It's Newcastle Island. It's fabulous. You should go. Stay for a while. It's been a big pleasure. Thanks, Jon, for spending some time with us today. Thank you for watching this edition of The Daily. We'll see you next time.